Hi, this is Greg from resourcesforlife.com, and as I promised in yesterday's video, I want to offer a tour of the apartment downtown. I'm in the living room, kitchen, dining room, study area right now, and I'm going to go back to the hallway that leads into the apartment so you can kind of see how the floor plan is laid out. This is the entryway right here. I don't know how well the lighting is going to do, but the door is here and there's a light switch. I'm going to be talking a little bit about space saving, time saving, and money saving in this under 10-minute tour, okay? So obviously you're going to find CFLs in the ceiling lights as both an energy saver in a couple of ways. Obviously they use less electricity, but also they generally emit less heat. So in the summertime, that adds up to meaning that you have less cooling costs. And also there's some low power here on the wall. You can see a low power night light that uses very little electricity. This one is sort of a glowing night light. We have some others here that are based on it measures the ambient light, and when it gets dark the night light turns on. When it gets light the night light turns off. And the night light itself is an LED. I'm going to show you one of those in just a second. So as you come, I'm going to get off camera here and just kind of show you around and give you a tour. As you come in, there's a little shoe rack here for room for 1, 2, 3 levels of shoes, and some carpets thrown down to protect the, or rugs thrown down to protect the carpet, and a little moolah here for seating. As you come in, you can sit down, take your shoes off. Something I want to point out here are these amazing windows that are I don't know if you can get a sense of the height of these windows, but I think they're about 6 feet tall, and the ceiling itself is quite tall. You can see there's a ceiling fan up there. But because of these really tall windows, rather than light just sort of filtering in or streaming in, we get some really good direct sunlight, and you can even, I'm going to adjust the shades here so you can see, you can look straight up to the sky. It's almost like having skylights. I've never quite thought about it this way, but with windows that are very tall, you get a lot of extra light in, much more than you might imagine, because the angle of the sun, once it gets up into the sky there, gives you a lot more light. And these are east-facing windows, so there are 3 large east-facing windows in this open space here. Before I go into the living room, though, I want to point out here's a closet just inside. Again, there's the entry door, the shoes I pointed out. So just as you turn the corner, there's a closet here for sort of odds and ends, and that's real handy. So walking from then the closet on the right, windows east on the left, coming into the living room, I want to point out a few space-saving concepts here. As you can see, the living room's pretty small. This is about a 12 by 14 foot space, and it has to serve a lot of purposes. Okay, so instead of using a traditional dining table and then maybe separate coffee table and couch, I might at some point show some pictures of what this apartment looked like previously when the previous owner was here, because it really was kind of cluttered. There were couches and large chairs that really just clogged this whole area up. So instead we've used these tables here that are about 18 inches, no actually 14 inches high. So you can actually sit on a very comfortable yoga mat with a pillow against the wall. Here again, some pillows and a yoga mat. And then these 2 tables can be configured to be a square dining table or study area, forming this L shape. You can do quite a bit with these tables. So they serve multiple purposes, which is quite good. So you can do, as I say, the dining, studying, or just visiting and having some drinks on the tables there. Anything else here in the living room? Otherwise, we tried to keep everything really clean and simple. You can see the previous owners had lots of bookshelves along this wall here, and that really clogged up this passageway. So by decluttering, it really saves a lot of space. And anytime a space is efficient and small, then you're also saving time, and time is money. So there you go. But that basically comprises the living room, dining room area, creating kind of a multifunction space. And by having the furniture low to the ground, then it keeps your eye, the view open, and it makes this more of an open space which is quite nice. So I'm going to step into the kitchen area, or at least focus on the kitchen area here, and you can see basically the air conditioning unit is here on the wall, and so the external part of that, I presume, is on the roof of the building or something. But here's just basic microwave, oven, kitchen area. I guess there are no real space-saving or energy-saving functions here other than what we try to do during the day or at night if we need extra lighting is just use this under-the-counter light rather than having the room light on. But as you can tell, there's direct light coming in from the sun outside, so there really isn't much need to use artificial lighting in this space. We brought in some of these plastic boxes. You can see they're really quite nice. You can see through them. They're lightweight. They're easy to move around. You can stack them if you want, put them on the ground, and the shelves just slide out. And because they're see-through, you can kind of take a glance and just see what's in there, and you don't have to go through the drawers to find what you're looking for. Here's a basic water jug, quite handy. This is just one appliance I wanted to point out. It's a Presto cooker. Now, it uses about 1,300 watts when it's on, but because it's so efficient, it doesn't have to be on very much. So you set this, let's say, to 200 degrees, 250. That does not change the amount of electricity it uses, but what it does is it's a thermostat. So once it reaches the desired temperature, it turns itself off. But because the heating coil is in the pan itself, basically, it's much more efficient than a standard cooktop electric element where you've got heat, coming out the sides, not actually getting to the pan or the food where you want it. So that's something we use quite a bit. Same concept here, heating up water rather than on the stove over there, heating up water using this stainless steel Chef's Choice International water heating unit. So we can make hot water for tea and that type of thing. Again, saving energy because it's so quick to heat that water up because the heating element is actually in the metal. If you want to do some research on induction cooking, you'll see that induction cooking is kind of the same principle, not convection, but induction, where it's actually heating up the pot or the pan rather than having an external burner. Anyway, and this shelving unit is just kind of multi-purpose, very inexpensive, about $30 per shelf, which comes with, beginning at the floor here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. But you can configure these any way you want. You could do 3 and 2, whatever, but you get 5 shelves in a unit. Those you often find in like the hardware section of a store, but they look fine for the living room, and they're just very clean lines. One benefit of using these rather than traditional bookshelves is traditional bookshelves are not as deep. A traditional bookshelf might come out about this far, so we're gaining an extra 4 or 5 inches from what we would have with a normal bookshelf. Also, these break down in just minutes. Put them together, take them apart in just a few minutes without any tools, so that's a real plus. And traditional bookshelf would not allow you to get to things from the side, so with this you have access to your storage from both sides and the front and even the back if you wanted to have this like in the middle of a room somewhere. I'll take you to the bathroom next. Again, lots of natural light, and something you don't see often is natural light coming in from other windows in the living space. So that natural lighting really helps. And again, CFLs in all of the light fixtures here, saving on electricity. And the bathroom's pretty clean and simple, with just a few items. One thing I want to point out is having a clear shower curtain is quite nice because, again, with the light, if you have something in your bathroom that's pulling light in, you're going to lose some lighting. Okay, so that's the bathroom. And just then to get an idea of the floor plan, I'm standing in the bathroom right now. I'm looking into the living room. So again, you have a bathroom with a line of sight that goes about 14 to 16 feet, which is kind of unusual for such a small space. And here's another view of the kitchen and the living room, again, with lots of light streaming in. And then finally, the bedroom here, lots of light coming in from east-facing window, and then here's some south-facing windows. That window in the bathroom is also south-facing. So anyway, I'm going to follow up with more later. I hope you like that.